Hi everybody. So for this section here, I'm going to be talking about flow posing. So with flow posing, with posing couples, what I do is I set up the pose and then I change little parts of the pose to get different images, but the main pose is still set. So for this section, I have my models here. This is Sammy and Mandy. They're actually married. Hello. And they're gonna help us out with this. So I'm gonna show you guys how flow posing, all the different things you can change in a pose to get different images, okay? So, first thing I want you guys to do is, Sammy, put your arm around Mandy, and then Mandy, put your arm around Sammy, and then start facing towards each other so you guys are close together. And then Mandy, put your hand up on his chest. There, rest it there, rest your head there, and there. So this is the initial holding pose. Holding is one of the sections I have for the types of poses that you have. He's holding her with one arm, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about is face direction, okay? We're going to talk about the different places you can change the face to get different images. So I want you to turn your face towards her, rest it, right? There you go. So right now they're kind of facing across from each other. He's looking to the right, and she's looking to the left, and that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to have her look at me. So you can turn to me, right? So she's looking at me and he's still looking away. The next way is the opposite. So you still go back to where you were looking, and then he looks at me, right? You can still tilt your head towards there. Okay, so that's one way, and we already got a few images from that. The next way is for both of them to look at me, so she'll turn to me. And then the last way is for them to both be looking out into one direction. So you guys both face that way, and I call this looking into the future. So they're just looking out. This is great if you're shooting a landscape image, and it's a big image, and you want them looking out into the sky or something. So just from face direction, you've changed the image up a little. The next thing is we're gonna do the hands and arms. So for him, we don't have, it looks weird for him to just be resting his hand out, so we're gonna have him put it in the pocket. Now, first I want you to have just your thumb in and your fingers out. Now, a lot of photographers will suggest to have the hand out like this. And the problem I have with that, you can see the hand there. The problem I have with this is that sometimes it draws attention to the hand, and you can't make the hand on a man look attractive. So his hand's out like that. Could look a little weird, like he's grabbing onto something or whatever. If you put your fingers together, that as well could be very distracting. But if you put your fingers in and just have your thumb out, that looks better. Or you can put your whole hand in, right? So we're not focused on the hand at all. We're not thinking about the hand, because that hand is not important. So if you're gonna have your hand on the side of your man, just putting it inside your pocket and not having your fingers stick out, in my opinion, looks better, but everybody's different. So the next thing is, for her, she can put her hand on his chest like she has it now, or she could put it up closer to his shoulder, right? She could also wrap around, so just like if you're hugging him, right? He can also wrap his arm around her, right? Now if you're doing it like this, because his arm is a lot bigger than hers, sometimes it looks better to have her arm over his. So I want you to swap, there you go. And by doing this as well, you can see the ring here. So if you put your hand down a little, you have the ring right there. Now, with her hand, you don't want her hand to like claw in, so I want you to like press hard into his arm. So you don't want it to ever have this position, because clawing in doesn't look good for the hands. I want you to relax your hands. Look at me. So just relax it like this. There you go. So that looks a little better. So if you just relax the fingers as if imagine you were like holding a pencil, right? Look at me. You're holding a pencil, right? And then you let go, and that's how your hand. Okay, so look at me here. When you're holding a pencil, right, with just these two fingers, your hand does this, and then you let go of the pencil, and this position of the hand is how you want the hand to look. Now, another thing you don't want to do is, so go back to putting your hand in your pocket, right? And then this hand up, okay? So you see these fingers here? This is called crawling fingers. Same thing with him. You have just these three fingers back here. You don't want these crawling fingers to just walk into the frame. You want the whole hand to show or not at all, right? So Sam, can you put your hand more out? That looks better than just a few fingers sticking out. And for her, can you reach over more? That looks better. Or not at all, just go and hide it behind them. Okay, so just a few fingers sticking out doesn't look as good as putting more of the arm and the arm showing. Now, even here, just because you see the hand, you don't see any of the wrist or the rest of the arm, might not look as good. So maybe you just put it back. Okay, now, so go back to how you guys were hugging each other. Okay, now, she can again go hand on the shoulder, right? Or hand on the elbow there. And then he can lower the hand down and then put your other hand over. There you go. So having one hand up and one hand down for him looks really good. You have all these hands drawing all the attention into the image. So instead of put your hands together, no, but like down. So like this, you have all these fingers here and a lot of hand down there. When if you separate them, it separates and creates like this square or triangle that's bringing all the attention into the center of the image rather than all the hands down there, and then your eyes are focused all the way down there. So those are some tips for hands. Another thing that she can do with the hands is put your left hand on the back of his neck. So you can rest it there, that's one way, or put it on his cheek. There you go. So you're resting it there. So that is different placements for hands. I also want to go back to how like she's looking up at him, right? And then you look down at her. So looking at each other is another positioning where you guys can, for face direction, you guys can look at each other, right? Now I want you to put your hand down, Sam, Mandy. Okay, so if you guys are both looking up at each other, Sammy, I want you to put your chin down a little. So a lot of people that are really tall and look down, put their chin straight down so that they're actually looking straight at her, and it causes a double chin and then really pushes the neck in. So I want you to raise your chin up and then look down. That looks a little better and making him look longer than pushing himself down, even if it's not how he would normally look down at her, just for the picture. The next thing we're going to talk about is posture. So I want Mandy to push herself back a little. Okay, so just that push back of her shoulder made her look better than crunched in. So it makes a better figure for her body when she pushes herself back like that. And then same thing, making sure that the chin and neck are long and feminine rather than having the chin down. So just fixing the posture by pushing the shoulders back really make the figure look better. The next thing is legs. So what I'm going to do with the legs is, if you look down at her legs, the main focus with legs is for her. Him just standing how he is fine. There's not many ways you can change a man's legs to look better. But for a woman, you have many options. So she's just standing straight. What I want you to do, Mandy, is with your left knee lifted up, okay? And then push your hip out away. So by doing that, it made her look slimmer, and it made a really nice shape down her body towards her legs, making her look more feminine and the pose better. Another way that you can do with the legs is she pushes her leg back. So put your leg back. Putting your leg back like that is another way you can move that leg. And then the other way is her lifting her foot up. So her lifting her foot up like that is another way to position the leg. So you can do the leg up, leg down. So go back to how you had it a second ago. Normal with the knee up. So all those ways will look better than just how you had it originally with your leg straight. So put your leg straight. The other leg positions look better than when your legs are straight, because this is just creating a flat, straight line versus a curve, and you want to give females curves in those poses. The next thing in flow posing is going to be the hair. So when it comes to the hair, if you look over here in this section right here, you have a lot of her hair in front, and the main thing when it comes to hair is you don't want hair in the chest. That's one thing. And you don't want the hair to be blocking your face. So a lot of times when you're looking at each other like this, the hair on the face will cover a lot of the face, and showing more of the face looks better. So having the hair back or up will be better than having the hair on the side. Here, if the hair that's facing me, I would pull back. So pull this hair back. There you go. So showing this shoulder and the neck looks better than hiding it all with the hair. So pulling the hair back shows more of the face, shows the neck all the way out to the shoulder, and that's the best position for the hair when posing like this on the side. Changing all those things up are many ways that you can make one pose give you lots of images. You also change the angle in which you shoot, so you shoot close-ups and full bodies, and shoot from like behind them or in all these different angles, and you get a lot of different images. But it all starts with having your foundation pose and then changing all the little details up so that you got different images, because you don't know which one might be the best for it. So that is a section on flow posing and changing the little details up, and we'll see you guys in the next section.